Hello, Biz Besties! Welcome to my first YouTube video. I am so excited because I have been wanting to create a channel for what seems like forever. And finally, it is happening. So, welcome. I watch YouTube like it's TV, and I have so many content creators that I admire, and it really inspired me to want to do the same and see what I can bring to the table. I really want to share my knowledge and get to know you all better. So I'm creating this first video as an introduction, as well as a little story time on how I got where I am today on my entrepreneur journey. So, I am Sade Johnson, and I am a tech strategist helping non techie coaches with the behind the scenes systems and automation in their businesses so they can get more clients with ease. My entrepreneur journey started about 5 years ago, and well, really, it started when I was a kid because I've always wanted to have my own business. I just didn't know what I wanted it to be. So I ended up going to college, and that whole time I was really in survival mode. That could be a story time for a whole nother day, but I was in survival mode that whole time. So I wasn't really thinking about building a business. I was just thinking, okay, how can I get and keep a reliable job so I can actually survive and pay my bills? Now, knowing what I know now, that was a complete scarcity mindset. Do not do that, by the way. We want to have an abundant mindset, which, again, that could be a whole video on its own for a different day. Then, about 5 years ago, I was actually laid off from one of those reliable jobs that I had, and it was a layoff that came out of nowhere. I had never been laid off before, but the company all of a sudden got shut down. So I was like, okay, what do I do now? And while I was at home, obviously I had a lot of time on my hands because there's only so many jobs you can apply to every single day. And I decided, okay, how can I make money online? I've always kind of heard that that's a thing, but never really looked into it. So I started doing some research, and I came across the term virtual assistant. And I was like, okay, that sounds like something I could do, but I don't know what it is. So, I looked into it, and it turns out it's basically a person that um, completes tasks for businesses, but virtually. So it's essentially like being an employee, except you're considered like a freelancer or a contract worker, and you're doing all the things a person in an office would do, but you're just doing it virtually. And the cool thing is that virtual assistants specialize in anything. Obviously the most common ones are general administrative tasks, but now they specialize in tech, which is what I had started doing, or they can specialize in Pinterest or social media management. There's a whole list of things you can do as a virtual assistant, which was awesome. So I decided, okay, I like the sound of this. I'm going to be this amazing freelancer doing all of these tasks on Fiverr and Upwork. So those are fine, but I barely made anybody. Obviously, if you're familiar with Fiverr, it's popular because the work starts at $5, which, I mean, you can go on and make way more than $5 per task, but that's kind of the stick shtick that they have, I guess you call it. I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now, but the point is, I didn't quite make a ton of money, but when I made my first dollar, oh, I felt like I was a millionaire. Something lit up inside of me, and I was like, oh my goodness, I just made my first dollar without having a job, without having to show up someplace. Like, I literally just made this happen on my own. And this was not a scam. Like, I legitimately did what I don't remember. I think the first thing I did was like some sort of data entry. I literally spent hours doing this data entry and got paid very little, but I still got paid, and I was ecstatic. So from then on, I was like, okay, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be this amazing freelancer and make a ton of money. Well, I couldn't quite figure out how to make a full time income with that. Not to say it's not possible, because it is now. Now I know that, but at the time I just could not figure out how to make it work. So I ended up going back to work. but I still kept doing the virtual assistant thing on the side as like a part-time side hustle, which I needed because unfortunately when I went back to work, I had to take a pay cut and it was just a whole thing. But being a VA definitely helped me to make ends meet. So after doing that for a few years, I ended up taking a break, a small break, but it was because for one, I still couldn't figure out how to make being a VA work for me with like making a full-time income. And by full-time, I mean, for my needs, I would need to be making minimum 5K plus per month, especially after you consider taxes. And I live in California, which is like one of the most expensive places you can live. So for me, that was minimum 5K. And I was doing all of these tasks that I wasn't really enjoying doing. Like, it's one thing to know how to do something like data entry, like transcription, like social media stuff, but it's another thing to actually enjoy doing it. And my thing was, I was like, if I'm going to create a business where I can eventually quit my job and do it full time, I want it to actually be something that I enjoy doing. Because the last thing I want to do is just create another job that I want to quit. Like what sense does that make? So, and I want to, want to be one of those people that's like, oh, I make so much money and I would do my job even for free because I love it so much. Which I always thought was ridiculous, but now I get it because I found something that I actually like doing. And I mean, I'm not about to do it for free, but I understand the sentiment. So, um, like I said, in 2019, I took a break because I just needed to regroup and figure out, okay, Sade, what is it that you actually like doing? You've done a million different tasks for people. Let's search within and figure out what you actually want to do. So in 2020, I decided, okay, I really love all the techie things that come along with having an online business. So I'm going to be a techie VA. At the time, this was in the beginning of 2020, I was like, oh, I'll just do all the tech things. But eventually I figured out, okay, that's super overwhelming because there's so many different tech avenues you can take. And that made marketing myself really confusing because if you just say, oh, I'm a tech VA, I mean, some people are going to get it and still want your services, but I found it to be way easier if I niche down to just one platform or one piece of software. So I decided, oh, I really love WordPress, which is a website platform. And people, I've been in all these Facebook groups and people tend to have problems using it because, maybe they're just not as techy as me, or some people just don't want to deal with it. But they may know how, but they're just like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather hire someone to do it for me. So I decided, okay, I'm going to be a WordPress virtual assistant. And that actually worked out well for me because niching down to, for one, something that the market actually needed was ideal. And it made my marketing way easier. And it was how I became known for something in these internet streets and specifically on Facebook. So I was a WordPress VA for a while, and then eventually 2021, which is where we are today, I had been taking on a bunch of clients and I was realizing, okay, the people that were coming to me, some of them were ideal clients and those were the ones I worked with, but a lot of people, and, okay, looking back, this also could just have been my marketing messaging, which, I'm still working on. It's a whole work in progress. But a lot of people were always coming to me to like build their website or for some sort of development or website designer thing. And it's understandable because, if you have WordPress in your title, of course people are going to think, oh, you must create websites. But really what I was falling in love with was more of the behind the scenes tech in online businesses, which involves maintenance of a website and updating it when it needs to be updated for like a launch that you're having or, a new product that you've added, a new package, whatever. But I wasn't really in love with the design aspect or the complete like build my website from scratch. Yes, I know how to do all those things, but I wasn't like wanting to actually sell those things and do them on a regular basis. So I kind of evolved from WordPress virtual assistant in that title, and I was like, okay, well, what could I call myself that would just more so fit this thing that I'm trying to do, which is help coaches with the behind the scenes tech in their business. And so that's when it dawned on me I should call myself a tech strategist. Hey! And so that's, as of this year, I'm a tech strategist, and it's basically where I help coaches, specifically non techie coaches, with the different tech pieces, helping them to decide the different tech pieces that they need to use in their business to achieve their goals. So that is where I'm at right now. Oh, and as far as how I picked wanting to work with coaches, that is actually a really important part of my journey, because in 2020, that is when I decided to hire my first business coach. Because after I took that break, I was like, okay, I've been at this for freaking almost 5 years now. Like, obviously, I like it, but clearly I don't know what I'm doing because I have not figured out how to actually get like consistent clients, consistent income, all this stuff. So I I don't want to say I broke down, but at the time it felt like I broke down and hired a coach. And when I tell you, I should have literally done this from the second that I even figured out what a virtual assistant was. It would have saved me so much time, so much heartache, so much money, so much all of the things, because when you hire a business coach, it is life changing. For me, it was life changing. For one, we worked on my mindset, which I wasn't even expecting. That was the crazy part. I didn't even realize that I had a terrible mindset. I thought, oh, well, I've always wanted to be a entrepreneur ever since I was a little kid. This has been my dream. Of course, I want to make money. Why would I have an issue, receiving money? This is when I learned about the scarcity mindset situation, and all the limiting beliefs that I actually had, which are like a subconscious thing that we're dealing with based on the way we were raised and the influences we've had in our life. Just a whole slew of things. I thought, oh, I'm just signing up to learn how to run a business. No. Well, yes, I did learn how to, create my business and all that, but I was not expecting the mindset aspect. And so that was really what was so transforming for me. And learning about mindset and how important it is to actually recognize what limiting beliefs you may have so you can always, you know, kick those to the curb and really up level to your next level. That learning that lesson has been priceless. So once I had that experience with that coach that I hired, I decided, before I was just like, oh, I'm just going to work with any online business. Like, that was kind of the niche I was going for. And then I was like, oh no, I need to work with coaches because coaches are phenomenal. They changed my life. I want to be a part of what they are doing. And I knew that a lot of coaches, because I had started talking to more of them and, I became friends with a few of them, I knew that doing the techie stuff in their business was literally the last thing that they wanted to deal with. Some of them happen to be techier than others, but when you're a coach, you're focused on the outcome for your client. You're focused on creating the right programs for your client. You're not focused on creating the best, setting up an email sequence or adding a page to your website or uploading a blog post or any of that. Your main concern is your client. And so I figured, okay, if I have this skill, I have this connection with coaches, this is just a match made in heaven. So this is now my passion. And I actually feel like helping coaches is like my way of helping the world be a better place, because these coaches, at least the coaches I know, they're working with women and working to make women feel empowered to start their businesses and to become millionaires. And I'm like, if I can be a part of that behind the scenes, I'm all for it. So that is why I chose my niche. That is my journey, if in a nutshell, of how I went from WordPress, general virtual assistant to a WordPress virtual assistant to now a tech strategist for coaches. Crazy. So right now I do technically still have a full-time job, which I am working towards leaving, you know. I'm like, let me pick a nice word. I'm not one of those people that like hates my job, but I'm one of those people who have now, you know, found their passion. And, you know, my passion is this, it's not having a job. So therefore, I'm gonna have to quit that job eventually. So you can come along with me on this journey, and here's what you can expect from this channel. One is I'm going to be giving you tech tips for all the systems that are in a coaching business and what I think you need to succeed. Two, I'll be giving you some inspiration. And I mean, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, yes, I'm just so inspirational and, you know, people should look up to me. No, it's not like that. It's just I'm going to be sharing my entrepreneur journey along the way and any tips I learn along the way. And I'm hoping that that will be inspirational for you in case you are looking to do the same thing. And lastly, you can expect high vibes. I mean, I know that's such a cliche millennial thing to say, but it's true. I'm all about being high vibe, having high vibes, and I mean honestly, I'm one of those naturally positive people, but it's not like I never have a bad day. Trust me, I do have those days when I get down in the dumps and I'm just like, why, God, why? What is this? Why me? But I am also blessed to be one of those people that can always see the bright side of things. You know, sometimes it might take me a day or two, but I am a very positive person and I like to surround myself with other positive people. So if that is something that you're looking to surround yourself with, then you're in the right place. So I cannot let you leave without giving you a free gift as a thank you for supporting this channel. Definitely make sure you subscribe and share this video with anyone you think would resonate with it. And the gift that I've created for you is a checklist, which is called the Behind the Scenes Tech Checklist for Coaches. It's going to walk you through all the tech tools that you need in your business so you can start getting clients or continue getting clients. You know, you may be a seasoned coach, you may be a beginner coach. This checklist is for everyone who is now working online and is curious, am I using the right tech tools? Which ones, maybe I'm using a few and don't even know that I should be using some other ones. It's all going to be on this checklist. So you can download it for free at SadeJohnson.com/checklist. All that link is going to be in the description below. And also be sure to join my free community on Facebook, which is called Behind the Scenes Tech for Successful Female Coaches. It's where I go live with my behind the scenes tech talks, and it's also where we just have fun and network with other biz bestie coaches. So all links are going to be in the description for everything I talk about. So I thank you so much for joining me for this first video. I cannot wait to get to know you more. Let me know in the comments if you are a coach and what you would love to hear, what tech tips you would love to hear about on this channel. Can't wait to read them, and I will talk to you later. Bye.